Yo, it's the Onyx White Show. Yes, good morning. I got some things that I want to talk about. I'm seeing Trump is basically going to war against DC, talking about the crime is very high and he wants to put FBI agents out there. And then I see the pushback. Like, as some people may know, I'm not Democratic or Republican. I got my own mind. And this is what I think about this, right? Well, we got to do something in all these cities and states, and I'm gonna call it for what it is. We have to, and I'm pro-black. Don't ever, if you see my content, I'm a pro-black man, right? But when we're at the level of black people are just executing each other for no reason through city by city by city by city, yeah. If we can't save our own, then this is what happens. They execute and get the federal government. Now, some people are looking at it politically, and some white people that don't live in these neighborhoods, right? And I'm never for over policing. I don't like over policing. I feel that the community should be able to police itself. But when you have little girls that can't go to school because they're getting shot up, or you have the old lady that can't feel safe, that's not no street glorified thug stuff. You know what it is? It's mental illness. A lot of these crimes that you're seeing out here, they're not thugs. A lot of these dudes are not thugs. They're mentally ill. They need help. They're still traumatized from not being raised with a father. They're still traumatized for something that happened to them back in the day. And we just glorify it. Like a lot of different, when I say we, I'm gonna really more so aim towards the hip hop community. Now, don't get it messed up. I'm never saying, oh, change your lyrics and none of that. I don't believe in that. I believe music, hip hop, it's all art. That's what I believe. So I'm just like someone makes a scary movie. You can do whatever you want with it. But when it's coming to the point where every city, every state, it's the same problem. Is blacks slaying blacks or Hispanics slaying Hispanics. Well, the taxpayer dollar, we need there should be an intervention. If we can't do it on our own, or then we need some type of intervention. Now, I hope that we could come together one day and get some money from the federal government and from these states. So to give the money back to the nonprofits, that's what needs to happen. The people that's actually in the communities, the government needs to a lot every year some money to the nonprofits that knows the people that's in the cities and states. And mental health need to be pushed more because you got a lot of black men suffering, a lot of black women suffering through trauma, through things that happened since they was little. But when it comes down to the point of, well, do I want to see black people execute each other all over the United States, and or will I rather see some form of authority, I guess you want to say, step in to stop it? I'd rather say that. Some people may not like that take. That's cool. But if your community is not the one being pillaged by its own, then you need to shut the fuck up. Straight. And I'm not, and all the people that don't like I said, I don't agree with policing. I believe we should be able to police our own. We should be able to do our own thing. But until that happens, someone needs to step in, because then there shouldn't be people suffering in the neighborhoods because we got Trayvon with a mental illness or Deshaun with a mental illness and he's going around shooting up the whole block for no reason. You not getting no money. You don't got no aim. A lot of dudes got no aim. You're just shooting up everywhere. You're not even hitting the target. A lot of the times you dudes ain't even hitting your target. You're not running down. You're not doing none of that. And I'm not advocating for a whole city of violence, but I'm saying if you got a target, hit your target. What are you doing shooting at the park and then you see mad kids there? And that may be a mature version of me, because I know, like, when growing up, my mind, I wasn't really thinking this much. I didn't really think about like the overall community, and hey, my mind was just like a lot of people in the city's minds. If you see an enemy, because that's how we raised. You shoot up everywhere you see. But like I said, there got to be someone that stands up. The OGs, or whether they're coming out of prison, but I really feel the money needs to be given to the nonprofits and to people with life experiences. There's a lot of men right now out on these streets that have life experience that these kids actually listen to. But we in America, money's the bottom line. If you ain't got no money, people only gonna listen to you very short, very short. So, do you agree with more policing? I know a lot of people say no. Okay, if you say no, then what's the solution for all the black on black crime and murders that have been happening probably ever since they put the drugs in the community? Ever since they put the drugs and the guns in the community, that's what we've been seeing. So if you don't want more policing, then for the Democratic Party, right? Because it's for the Democratic Party, because I'm going to be fair on both. If I'm speaking to the Democratic Party, if you don't want more policing, because I don't want it, then what's the solution? Because there has to be something. Because it's going to get to a point where the people that built the country, which is black people, we're probably going to either go extinct or be a minority, because there's a lot of leaders and a lot of good men, a lot of black men and women that's dead at the hands of our own. Now, most people that I know, right? Well, a lot of people that I know that's in the streets, and I'm gonna be all the way real with it. We're not looking for white people to kill us. We're like, yeah, there's a racist tension sometimes, and there's not always a racist tension like within the city. From Boston, I know everybody got their city and they got their own culture. But I've been to a couple cities, and what I notice is black men is more scared of other people that look like each other, and we got to call for what it is. These politicians is taking advantage of the narrative. So they're getting causes that a lot of people care about and they're pretending like they're behind it. A lot of these politicians don't live in the city. They don't, or they're not from the city. They're not from the culture. A lot of them is from the suburbs and they come and get elected in these areas, just like the police. Once again, I don't agree with over policing. I don't agree with none of that. Because a lot of these police take advantage. They beat us. They talk to us like trash. Like in my video, if y'all been watching my Driving While Black, they don't care about us at all. But if it comes down to the point of having this racist cop that don't care for us have to stick his head in the middle, or another brother kill another brother for nothing. Because I do also, and I'm not, some people are probably going to be off on this subject, but I believe in righteous murder. It says it in the Bible, it says it in the Quran. There is a time for righteous murder, but we have to ask ourselves, in the city, in these cities, in these urban cities in America, do we see righteous murders? No. They're not. A lot of it is mental illness and trauma and cycles just being repeated because that's the only thing to offer. The government needs to find the nonprofit. There's a lot of nonprofits, especially, and I want to shout out to my city. Shout out Boston. Shout out Boston. We got probably some of the best nonprofits. And excuse me if y'all hear a little metal. That's my dog eating out of her dog bowl. But we got some of the best nonprofits. I see what the mayors over there in Baltimore doing. Far as getting their crime reduction lower. And it's really when you pour into the community, when you release the funds, all these funds that you're trying to fund jail and fund the police. But once again, you know, we had these guys bragging about Chicago. Oh, Chicago got 500 murders a year. You an idiot. A lot of y'all are slow sheep. 500 murders. They killing each other. They ain't killing the cops. They ain't killing racist people. They killing people that look like them. That's not nothing to brag about. Y'all a lot of y'all are lost. But I understand. I'm not trying to sit here and belittle and beat down, but you really got to put that in perspective. When people, I always thought it was kind of funny when people did that. Like when you're sitting here bragging about murders in your city, yo, my city's tough. We got 500, we got 1,000 murders a year. Okay, but who are you killing? You're not killing the police. You're not killing the racists. You're not killing the guy that flies the Confederate flag. You're not killing the guy that kicked your grandmother out of her home because she couldn't pay her taxes. You're not killing, even when back in the days from the riots when we used to burn our own stuff down. So if you really feel like you're tough, like a lot of y'all ain't tough. If you feel like you tough, go fight a righteous cause. You know, how many times do the police take out black people every day? And on top of that, we take out each other. We gotta call it out. Once again, I don't think there should be no money put in the police. But at the same time, if some of these guys' mental illness is going unchecked, then hey, they gotta do what they gotta do. But we need to start pushing the mental health card in our own communities and stop pushing things that don't make no sense. A lot of y'all putting guns in people's hands or dudes that's mentally ill. He's not tough. He's not a gangster. I done seen a lot of them tough dudes go to prison, and them same dudes that was tough with a gun be straight bitches in jail, getting extorted, getting money taken from them, PCing, hood hopping, switching different gangs, joining gangs for protection. You're not tough, bro. You're not tough. One on one, imano, you're not tough. You're not tough. Having a gun, anyone can shoot, anyone can kill. But for what reason? What's the purpose? And then I'm not trying to get too bad on a lot of the younger guys, because the younger guys sometimes they learn when it's too late. They not used to. They don't really understand about. They just follow a trend, just like me, just like a lot of other people that was raised in these neighborhoods. A lot of times we doing what was known, what's available, and what's available to us is lack of resources, lack of knowledge. And I'm not trying to make an excuse, but that's the truth. Them from that age, from I'll say even as early as 12 to 16 in all these inner cities, knowing that all these kids is poor, y'all are not employing them. Why isn't there a task force just to employ kids, the youth from 12 to 16 all over America? If you want crime to stop, that will probably take around 30% of crime off of each city. If you employ from the age of 12 to the age of 16, 12 to 16, and you give them jobs, and I'm not just talking about summer jobs, I'm talking about throughout the year. Make them employed, have them work. I guarantee you crime is going to drop. We all know the reasons why crime goes on. Crime goes on because of poverty, for the most part. A lot of people I know that's in these streets, they ain't in these streets to to giggle. I mean, when you first come out, you might find it exciting, but once you be in the streets long enough and you back and forth in jail long enough, you know, like ain't nobody wants to live like that. So I'm gonna wrap it up like this. As far as Trump thinking about putting cops more or federal agents in DC, it's unfortunate. But I'd rather see that than see 400 black men dead, black men and women dead because they just had mental illness and no one knew. And no one and no you know what I'm saying? Or no one helped. Policing isn't the way out of it, but it's the best way right now until this mental health crisis. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's not a crime crisis, it's a mental health epidemic, you know, going on. So yeah, you heard it first. Come in. Onyx White Show. Say hi to the camera. This is Ebony. Yeah. You heard it first, the Onyx White Show. I'm not agreeing with no policing and stuff, but you guys need to start getting your mental health checked out. And we need to start preaching that. Yerk.